Hey, what's going on, everyone? Joe Menza here, and today I bring you a special painting video where I'm going to use these golden maple brushes. This company reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in trying some of their brushes, and I said yes. Any company that wants to send me brushes, I am great with trying. But specifically, I asked for, because I don't use small brushes, I noticed that they had these squirrel type brushes, so I thought I would try them, and I've been wanting to get into more of those if you've seen my last videos. Now there's 3 sizes of these, and these are the squirrel type brushes. These are, I don't know if you'd call them a mop, more of a round, kind of a combo between the two because they do hold water. I've always been the goat hair, hake brush, big brush kind of guy, but a lot of people do like these in watercolor and use them, and they're good to give you that sort of effect like you're drawing. And there's the 3 sizes in these boxes, and in this box, and they look like they're very, very good quality. And again, I don't have a lot of experience. I'm not a reviewer. I'm happy to use them as just like an end user artist. Now that being said, they also sent me these other brushes, which I really haven't had a chance to use. This big set, and it's got a couple of these synthetic flat brushes in here. So I'm going to cheat a little, and I'm going to use these for my initial wet down of the paper and wash. But these are also golden maple, and they're, a decent economical set of brushes. And I'm going to use that to kind of wash down my paper, do an initial wash of water, and then I'll go into using those brushes. So I'm cheating a little bit, but again, these are all from the Golden Maple Brush Company. And one thing I should say is I got these for free. I did not pay for them. And I won't put up a video. If I don't like the product, if I think it doesn't work for me, I won't even put the video up. If I like it, I'll put the video up. And I don't take commissions. So if you go and buy brushes, I might leave you a link that gives you a discount, but I don't get any money, anything for, your purchases. I should say that, because there are companies that do that, and there are probably channels out there that they get a commission when you buy the product. I do not. I just want to show you I enjoyed something and share it with you, just like my videos. So I'm using this synthetic brush, and I kind of like this, actually. The hake brush has a goat hair, and it holds a lot of water. This is a little more synthetic. It's more like a square brush, and I think it's probably a good brush to have in your collection. And now these brushes here that I showed you in that initial wrap, I'm not using those in this one except for this, but they say they could be used for watercolor, acrylic, or oil. That's the first time I've seen brushes that, say all 3, and that's fine by me. I haven't used them for anything else, but I think they would be good for watercolor for sure. So here I'm just doing my initial wash again with this same brush, which this isn't telling you much, obviously, about the squirrel brushes, but we'll get to those. So I at least want to get my initial background down. A little bit of ultramarine blue. There's a raw sienna in the back. I should say that for those 2 colors. And I'm just kind of want those corners a little darker. And so you can see those brush strokes, but they will blend in. I think they blend in probably a little more with the goat hair. And look I can lift out with these. This is just me trying to see the extent of what I can do with these brushes. And you can lift. You can blend as I'm doing here. Whatever brushes get you motivated to paint that you enjoy. If you want to go buy, very expensive, like the Escoda type brushes, or, some of those real expensive ones, and you take really great care of them, and they're like, your great tools, like a chef has some great knives or something, that's what you should have. But there's also some of us out there that we just use, we use inexpensive brushes, and we don't feel like, there's any responsibility to, take the utmost care in them. We just use whatever brushes and have fun too. And that's all good. Now I've used almost like a purple here. And these are the Daniel Smith paints, by the way, in the tin. A little bit of dioxazine purple, however you say that. I'll take the dry brush. See, I got 2 of these synthetics. And I can do that for blending. Now here comes the squirrel brush. And see, these are perfect with the point on there to make these, like distant trees. I almost will keep one of these in my regular daily set. I had to let that dry for a little bit. That's why you had the transition. But if you take the end of your brush, look, and you push it down, it just makes like perfect pointy little distant trees along this mountain. You could press it against the paper, just tap it, and you'll get that perfect shape. So it's worth it to have one of these. I mean, you should have the hake brush, you should have a flat brush, a round brush. And that's what makes that other set so perfect that I showed you in the beginning. It ties up and you unroll it. It looks like a knife set that you bring into the kitchen. There's a lot of different brushes in there that you can have. Whatever fits in your bag. But again, whatever excites you about the painting, getting away from the turmoils of this world. I mean, there's been a lot of crazy news this week. This is October that I'm putting this up of 2024. And it just seems like one day is worse than the last with things going on in the world. And to immerse yourself in a nice hobby of painting, putting colors on, and just the therapy of it. This is, buying new brushes. And that's why it gets so compelling when you're in, say, oh, I got to buy this brush. You don't have to buy that brush. Brush isn't going to make you paint better. But, if you're looking for a certain brush, they're affordable. They work good. I'm not seeing hairs falling off or anything. And I've used some cheap brushes. Those ones that come in the baggies, and there's like 10 brushes in there for like $1. I mean, those things, they do not last. But if you don't know how far you're going to go in this hobby, buy the cheap stuff and just throw it on and say, okay, I enjoy it enough to, okay, now I'll invest. I'm using this flat brush now to pull this down and create a little shadow, which is nice. I do like these flat brushes. If anything came out of that other set, which I'll use in future videos, it's nice, them flat brushes. I've never used a synthetic flat brush before that was that size. So here we go with now see, ordinarily I'd use a fan brush for this, but I'm going to do it with this brush. You see, I'm not a drawer. Look at my hand. I used to get, what is funny is I used to get, my penmanship in school was, they told me to become a doctor, let's put it that way. They said, you can write prescriptions. That was my penmanship. Just as sloppy, I think, handwriting. I tried sometimes. I tried to put the nice loops and the hoops and all that stuff on there. And now we look at today. Nobody's writing. Nobody's handwriting. Everything's texted. There's no writing. What did we learn all that handwriting for? They told me I was holding my pen wrong. And then later on, I seen they changed the rules on that. And you can use all your fingers to hold the pen. They used to tell you have to use the 3 fingers, index, middle, and thumb, and balance it. And then they showed, because I used all my fingers. I don't know what my mother come into school and they said, Dan, look at the way this kid holds a pen. This is no good. Look how he holds a pencil. And later on, my own kids go to school and they send home this paper with the right, wrong on it. I says, look at this. This is the way I hold a pencil. Now it's right. When did that change? You didn't have to stand in a corner for nothing. No, I didn't stand in a corner for that, but I mean, I did get my chops broken a little bit here and there because of holding the pen wrong, and they tried to force me. No, you got to hold it this way. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't hold it that way. I should have told them, hey, look, I'm going to be an artist anyway one day. Nobody cares how I hold the pen. You let my Italian side come out in my talking. Hey, I'll hold the pen any way I want, Forget about it. So I'm putting a little burnt umber here underneath. And using, again, these hold good water. I like these brushes. These are nice brushes. I mean, if I was to get into them, I would not have any problem getting these Squirrel brushes from the fine people at Golden Maple Brush Company. And take my plastic palette knife. That's another good thing to have. You could use metal, but it scrapes the paper too harshly. So if you don't have that, use a credit card. But when I found that plastic palette knife, I said, this is nice. I feel like a tool, so you scratch the cards in there. I feel like I have a nice, usable tool rather than pulling a credit card out of my wallet. Look how nice and bright that is in the center where the water is. Doesn't that look nice? And the light coming over the mountain. I'm coming in with some darks here. I used a Payne's Gray. I use Ultramarine Blue. The basic Ron Ranson set. By the way, if you're first time joining us, we do have the Fast and Loose Ron Ranson watercolor group over at Facebook. And come and join us, answer the few questions that we have for entry, and you'll find a very nice community and group of people to talk about a fast and loose style. You can learn about Ron Ranson and how he used the large brush, no fuss, fast and loose painting method. So I'm going to anchor these rocks in a little bit. We're getting close to the end. I think these brushes worked out nicely. Remember, brushes aren't going to make you paint better, but you will enjoy having a decent brush, and I think these are good. A little spray bottle, keep things wet. And a little bit of pulling in the paint there just to kind of soften that. Get a nice softness over the top of the water, just like the oil painters do. Blending and softening. A little bit more water just to help facilitate that blend. Oh, it's coming around nicely now. Look at that glow in the middle. And we're nearly there. I think this one turned out pretty nice. This was on Strathmore 300, I believe, I used here. Not an expensive paper either. Tap it in some lighter foliage. That's looking real nice now. And here is the finished piece. Pop in a bird with my Micron pen. Sign the bottom. And we'll see what it looks like with a mount. Here it is. I think that looks pretty nice. Horizon line could have been a little straighter, but nice mountain piece. I'll clip this down. And here's the mount. I'll position this on here a little better. And that's it. I thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Okay, let me just show you these brushes one more time before I sign off. So here are the Squirrel brushes. Just to show you these one more time. 3 sizes in this particular set. They do have, I think they do go bigger than that. Here's the flat brush I used. And then here's that set again with brushes I didn't use, but I will use in future videos. So that's it. Here's the finished painting one last time, and I will see you guys next time.